You know, if I was ever a supporter of BLM, they definitely would have lost me. One name, BERNELL TRAMMELL. Here's a man who was a staple in his community. Everybody knew who he was, well respected. And all it took was one ignorant Negro to take his life simply because he supported Trump. Now, this was a man who was all across the board. He would support whatever made sense, whoever would get the job done, as all Americans should. But he was killed in cold blood. And I think it was maybe a couple of hours after that YouTube video where he gave his interview and what was going on. I think he was killed a couple of hours after that. So, we move to this, where, just supporting Trump is not going to get a milkshake thrown on you. You might be killed for it. You know what that reminds me of? Iraq. When they had their first elections, people went around to kill, maim, coerce, intimidate anybody who would vote not their way. And it was an act of bravery just to simply practice something as democratic as voting, because they don't want everyone to have a voice. If that's not a terrorist, if that doesn't smell of fascism or a dictatorship, then I don't know what does. So those people over in Iraq, you've seen the pictures, they hold up that one finger with the purple ink on it. And that's what we're coming to right now in this country, I guess. Because I guess, once we vote, we got to come out of the voting booth and hold up a finger with some red ink on it. Because now in this country, this democratic republic of ours, beautiful country, simply voting for who someone else doesn't agree who you vote with can possibly get you killed or assaulted. So voting really is a patriotic duty. It is an act of bravery just to simply make a choice because of these thugs, these terrorists out there. And I will continue to point out the parallels of the terrorists over in Iraq and Afghanistan and the ones here, because there is no difference except the location. But will BERNELL have any murals put up for him? Or is he just going to be another footnote in history? Let's not forget that name. I know a lot of people point out George Floyd, and no, he wasn't a model citizen. He was still a human being, so I'm not going to sit and celebrate his death. Nobody should die like that. That's not what this is about. This is about the sheer ignorance of these idiots out here. And now look at them. I mean, you would think that the Proud Boys were the Roman legions. Here is at first they were celebrating how we were just blacklisted off of every social media site and banned everywhere. And, oh, they're winning. We're so ineffective. But now that their little revolution is losing steam and they need to keep finding excuses to keep their little uprising going, they're blaming Proud Boys for everything. It's like all of a sudden we've become ghosts. Like we're just everywhere and anywhere. Like we're the CIA or something. I mean, thanks for the compliment, but stop trying to plug in the name Proud Boys just to boost your little revolution, because people are tired of it and the polls are showing it. You are losing. Okay? You had some overzealous Antifa person decide to stab this guy, the Black Rebel. I can't remember. I don't know his real name. And then he gets stomped out by the rioters. It's just like, dude, you just showed that it ain't about black lives at all. It's a farce. Okay, you all are nothing but goons for the DNC, and they will turn on you too, just as quick as that Seattle mayor turned on y'all when y'all showed up at her house. She cleared those streets real quick, didn't she? But here y'all are blaming the Proud Boys like we're just everywhere all of a sudden. Well, thanks, like I said, for the compliment. But you're losing steam. You got infects shooting themselves, passing out in the heat. Rioters fighting amongst themselves. Do you know how much energy it takes, how exhausting it is to try to keep that much hate going? You all are kicking your own ass. Thanks. Thanks for making it easy. But you still got another ass kicking coming from people who are tired of it. But let's remember that name, BERNELL TRAMMELL. He seems like a really stand-up guy and a model citizen. And Proud Boys did nothing wrong. Uhuru.